Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is probably the most controversial attraction at Universal Orlando Resort. In case you've been living under a rock, this roller coaster just closed in August of 2025. I got to ride it twice this year when I visited Universal Orlando, and I also got to ride it once in 2021. So I actually have a pretty decent feel for this attraction. So in today's video, we're going to deep dive into this roller coaster experience. Before we get started, please like this video. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know if you got to ride Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit, what you thought of it. And of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. YouTube says we have over 30,000 returning viewers every single month, but we're nowhere near 30,000 subscribers. So if you've watched more than one video, I would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Also, one more thing. I'm starting to use the Theme Park Nerd Instagram more and more. So if you haven't already, please head over and give me a follow. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, everybody. I think I had the best experience you could possibly have with Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. My first and only ride in 2021 was a back row ride, and I was actually very impressed with the airtime on this attraction. If you know me, you know that I absolutely love airtime, and I wasn't really expecting it to be as good as it was. And in 2025, I was really fortunate. I was able to ride it in the front and in the back. So I got to recreate the ride that I had in 2021, and I got to try the thing in the front. So I got to ride this roller coaster in the two best rows. And honestly, in 2025, I walked away thinking it was much better than I remember. I'm one of those weirdos that actually liked Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. And honestly, as of my 2025 visit to Universal Studios Florida, it was my favorite ride in the park. So I'm a touch disappointed that it's leaving. I'm also confident that whatever replaces Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is going to be a much better ride than Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit, so I'm not really that upset about it. Universal Studios Florida in general just needs a lot of work. I think it needs a lot of better attractions, but that's just my opinion. Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit was manufactured by Maurer, who isn't exactly known for creating large-scale roller coasters, especially high-profile, large-scale roller coasters that you can find at a Disney or Universal park, especially Universal. So a lot of this ride's quirks just stem from it being a weird Maurer ride. Like, there's nothing else really like it, at least in the United States. It has a very unique layout. It's kind of an eyesore. Like, it's not the most visually appealing roller coaster. Like, I love watching roller coasters. I love filming roller coasters. I love spending time around roller coasters. Like, they're always very interesting to watch. But, like, just the structure alone for Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is kind of ugly. It definitely needed a repaint before it closed, but now it's not going to exist anymore, so there's that. But just the support structure, especially for the lift hill, it's just not great. It's also really weird to look at a ride that has a vertical lift hill, but it doesn't have a vertical or beyond vertical drop. This might be one of the very few rides out there that has a vertical lift hill, but it doesn't have at least a vertical drop. Like, it's so weird. I can't think of another roller coaster that has that off the top of my head. These restraints were very interesting. They're a lot like the Gravity Group Timberliners, where it's just like one massive U that you pull over. Depending upon if you're in the right seat, it'll be on your right side, left seat, left side. It had a moving loading station. It was possible to request a row, which I did appreciate. That's how I got the front and the back twice. Whichever row you are in after you dispatch, you're going to go up that vertical lift hill. It's always really cool riding a vertical lift hill with a roller coaster that just has a lap bar. That being said, though, I'm kind of numb to the sensation because I've ridden Hang Time so many times at Knott's Berry Farm. Hang Time also has this thing where the seats are kind of angled back. So when you're going up the vertical lift hill, it kind of feels like you're falling out. For Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit, the seat like wraps around you, partially because of the speakers. The main selling point of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is that you were able to choose which song you wanted to listen to through the ride. So obviously they need those speakers. But either way, it's still a very cool sensation. It's like any first drop, it'll be better in the back row. It was actually a really solid airtime moment. Very fun. But by far the best moment in the attraction, and by far the biggest surprise when I first rode this attraction in 2021, was the non-inverting loop. It was ridiculous. It was an insane airtime moment. More so in the back row. It was much better in the back. Honestly, this roller coaster in general is better in the back, but especially for the non-inverting loop. It was crazy sustain as you twisted through the whole thing. When you rode in the front row, you kind of landed in your seat at the apex. So that wasn't as crazy, but it's still an unreal element. It's a very, very whippy moment. And being out of your seat as you get whipped from side to side is just unreal. And the airtime was more sustained and more powerful in that back row. So it was just unbelievable. I was absolutely shocked. Like a non-inverting loop, just from off-ride, it does kind of look like an eyesore. Like, why does it twist at the top? And like from a roller coaster enthusiast perspective, like, why would you take away the most exciting part of a loop? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The non-inverting loops on the Skyrocket 2s are so stupid because you just kind of twist through them very slowly. Like, there's nothing exciting about them. But this one, you have the speed, you have the airtime, you have the whip. It was absolutely unbelievable. It's one of the best elements that Universal Orlando had on any of its roller coasters, which is kind of insane to say. I love that non-inverting loop, and I really did not expect to. This element makes me excited to experience other non-inverting loops out there, specifically on the one on DC Rivals if I'm ever able to get down to Australia. I have no idea what song I picked when I rode this roller coaster in 2021, but I can tell you in 2025 I picked the My Chemical Romance song, which was, I thought it was appropriate for a goodbye to this roller coaster. Very emo, very sad. Welcome to the Black Parade, that's the song. For my second ride in the back row, I picked a pop song, which I think is Waterloo, but I just thought it was funny listening to such emo music on my first ride, because the ride is closed again. I'm kind of happy I had that experience to say goodbye to this ride. Right after the non-inverting loop, you're going to race into one of many mid-course brake runs on this ride. In the front row, popping into every single mid-course brake run was an amazing airtime moment. But in the back, dropping off of the first two mid-course brake runs were amazing airtime moments. The other ones less so because they were so much smaller in scale. But honestly, this first mid-course brake run is so tall, it was so high off the ground that it was actually a really amazing airtime moment dropping off of it in the back. Also, the drop off of that mid-course brake run is pretty steep, so that also means it's a really cool airtime moment. Right after that, you're going to race through a building, which was a pretty interesting dynamic. And then you curve up into this helix turnaround, which was stupid intense. It was very, very intense. It was a crazy gray out moment for both the front and the back row. It might have been a touch more intense in the front, but either way, it was absolutely insane. Very, very cool. Then guess what happens right after that? That's right, it's a mid-course brake run. As I said, dropping off of it in the back will be a solid airtime moment. Not as good as the first one, but it's definitely the second best drop off the mid-course brake run when you're in the back. Cresting into it in the front is another amazing airtime moment. But right after that, Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit just kind of meanders around. Like, it had two amazing airtime moments dropping off of the mid-course brake runs. It had a solid drop, especially in the back. It had a stupid intense helix, and it had a stupidly unique and fun twisted airtime moment. But from this point forward, Rip Ride Rockit is going to do a lot of meandering around. Like, it has these two banks, or like twisted hills, whatever you want to call it. The first one was floaty. The second one was much more slow paced, which kind of gave like sideways hang time. Then it'll throw you up into another mid-course brake run. Shocking. As I said, it'll be a solid airtime pop in the front, dropping off of it, less so in the back. You kind of twist around, you go out all the way towards City Walk for a little helix. It wasn't very memorable. Then you turn around into one more mid-course brake run. Again, better in the front, cresting into it. And then you're going to drop back down and crest up into the final brake run. And that was your ride experience on Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. One more thing that we really have to talk about before we end this video is the roughness of this roller coaster. I heard a lot of mixed things. In my opinion, it was not smooth. It is very shaky, very janky, but I wouldn't say it's painful. It's like kind of rough, but it wasn't too much. But again, I only rode this roller coaster 3 times, so if I did ride it more, the roughness might have started to wear on me. But this ride is an airtime machine, it feels like. So honestly, it kind of had like the same roughness or like the same feel, I could say, as a lot of like major wooden coasters out there. But it wasn't like terrible. It didn't ruin the ride like some people said. I still really enjoyed Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. And again, it was my favorite ride at Universal Studios Florida, when I visited in 2025. But again, I am confident that whatever replaces Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit will be an upgrade. I hope that it'll have an airtime moment that's just as unique as the non-inverting loop, but we'll see. The standout moments of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit were absolutely that non-inverting loop, the first drop, the drop off of the first 2 mid-course brake runs, and the first turnaround helix. So it was very much a first half roller coaster, especially for the back. And again, I said I prefer this roller coaster in the back because the best element was the best in the back row, but it was still fun in the front. The second half of the roller coaster was definitely much, much better in the front row. In case you're curious, I already have a video up on this channel discussing what I would love to replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit, so you should go check that out if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for listening. Please like this video. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit if you got to ride it. And of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate your support. And if you have not already, please drop a follow on the Theme Park Nerd Instagram. I would greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will catch you later.